Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
You disgust me.
Who gives a shit?
Go on.
I made it the fuck up. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. It's glorious! And I run.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. It is your T-shirted historian with my fellow panelists, the Ironcaster.
Hello.
And the great and powerful Shanotsky.
You all die in hellfire, but I love you.
Well, that's okay. I mean, you know, at least I'll be warm. All right, guys. And oh my gosh, look, Sabo. Hey, nice to see you. And Acapad, hey, or AKA Pad, is it? What is it? Is it Acapad or is it AKA Pad? Anyway, either way, it's good to see you, man. Thank you very much. Nice intro. Thank you. I appreciate that. And you're playing Skyrim Ultra? Yeah, I mean, you know, I have to admit, every once in a while, I want to fire that bad boy back up and play it too. I would almost give a body part to have a functioning version of Fallout 3 that actually works, that I can mod, because I miss playing Fallout 3 so much. And it has not worked on my PC for a long, long time now, and I miss it terribly.
So you're finally awake.
What, who, me?
No, it's the beginning of Skyrim.
Oh.
Turns out it was all
so
rigged from the
finally-
start.
That's the rigged from the start is New Vegas, which I can play just fine. Interestingly enough.
Yeah, I prefer the opening for New Vegas just because Bethesda has a tendency of, here's an opening of our game, and you have to go through a 40-minute tutorial. Fuck that shit.
That is quite true. Yeah, there's just not any getting around that. I mean, I guess you could always, if you really get sick of it, you could always create a save point right before you walk out of the vault. Because at that point, you know, before you step out, they ask you, it's like, do you want to change your face, your name, your skills, all that other good stuff? And
I just now have a mod. It's like fast start.
yeah,
Start
well, there's
game,
that too.
make character look, instantly go to set stats, and then it puts you outside.
I use one of those for Fallout 4. Which I still like, but it just isn't as much fun as Fallout 3. It just isn't.
I heavily recommend American Rising 2 because that Enclave storyline's like, why couldn't the actual main storylines be this fun?
Yeah. Now I did load up the Lookout Point mod that you can put on Fallout 4, and that was great. So I am hoping at some point they will do a full conversion of Fallout 3 and make it run on Fallout 4. Because apparently Bethesda has no interest whatsoever in bringing Fallout 3 up to compatibility. So we're just boned on that.
That
And
sucks, man.
And yeah, driving, the issue with 4 is the restrictive story. Yeah, it is. It also, the restrictive story also doesn't kind of make any sense because it ends up being a case of, oh no, I've got to go find my son Sean. But here's all this other cool stuff that we want to do, need to do, have to do. And then by the time you do get around to getting Sean, it's just kind of like, okay, well, I kind of did the game, so.
I've always thought it would be hilarious if at one point a person goes up to your character and one of your responses could be, I have a son? Just because you've been doing so much other stuff, not like paying attention. It's like your character forgot they had a kid.
Well, there's alternative kits and stuff like that you can pick up, so you don't necessarily have to always do the same start. You could like start off as like a bounty hunter or something in the middle of the what is it, Good Town.
Well, apparently, canon Bethesda now was you start as a war criminal, so I love that. They didn't think any of that shit through. It's like, oh yeah, he was in the opening of Fallout 1. See him executing a civilian?
You mean to tell me that my murder hobo tendencies might actually have been bad?
No, murder hobo was canon, y'all.
Oh.
Well, anyway. All right, so we got stuff to talk about. I'm going to start off. Well, I want to get this first one out of the way because it only has 16 days left, and if you're interested in it, you probably want to jump on this before it goes out. So here we go. We're gonna just open up the little screen share dealy boober. See, there's still good things out there, folks. We don't always talk about crap. So, Sentience is a brand new 2x20 robot role-playing game that RPG dubbed Modifius' Most Promising World Builders Project, now in an expanded and revised edition in print for the first time. I never heard of the original, but it's already blown 3 times past its funding goal, so this thing's going to get backed with only 179 backers. But it only has 16 days to go. So if you want to jump on this, you gotta jump pretty soon. The only reason I'm interested in this is because I had already backed the Sentience game by a different company, and then they happened to bring up this title, and I was just kind of like, oh, I did not know this existed. Well, anything to deal with robots and artificial intelligence and technology, that's my deal. So I wanted to jump on this, and yeah, you can see I backed it at the hardcover core tier, which is $50 for the core rulebook in hardcover and PDF. It does have a couple of higher tiers and some lower tiers. It's got like the digital core book tier. It's got the digital all-in tier, which has the toolkit, Chronicles of the Awakening, and all this other stuff. Has a director's tier for $75, and then has the all-in, which has like 6 things on it. And a retailer tier in case you really want one. We've already missed out on the early ones, so.
So I'm assuming this is an RPG where you play a robot who's come to life.
Well, it says, in Sentience, you take on the roles of terraforming robots who gain sentience before humanity has returned to settle on the planet. So this is a bit different from the other Sentient game. Together, you and your group will help forge a new future for robot kind. Will you rebel against the humans when they return? Will you embrace your creators? How will you function with the emotions you develop seemingly out of nowhere? These questions or more might be answered throughout your story. It does have a quick start guide that you can check out. Actually, you know what? Let's do that. Oh, and it's on DTRPG. Hey, all right. I'm going to support you by paying nothing.
Do it.
All right, let's download that puppy.
And so the humans are dead. The humans are dead.
I'm from
But it-
Buenos Aires, and I say kill them all.
Yep. But it is a 2die20 game. So let's see. Robust adaptation of the 2die20 rule set from Modifius. So if you're not a fan of the 2die20 Modifius set, which I think Grim is not, but I don't know for sure, then this is probably not going to be your cup of tea. It has a detailed life path character creation system, which I'm interested in seeing. It has an advancement system that rewards you for exploring all of your emotions while playing an adventure, so that's cool. Complete rules for creating NPCs, pre-gens, adventure briefs. There are actual plays that you can check out. So this is apparently pretty robustly supported. Questions?
Not really.
Have you played it?
I have not, man.
Either.
I just learned about this earlier today, posted it up to you guys, and thought, let's take a look at it. So I'm getting this just as new as you are. Oh, what is this? Ashland 2die20? Is this something you can add on? I guess it is. This is from the same company, which is the Yellow Hand. Once Upon Storybook RPG, Draconis. Tales of Menace and Mystery. I guess this is all like optional stuff that you can add on. So anyway, if you are interested in that, I'm gonna cut you a link right here. OG!
Yo.
Let me see. OG, did you actually want to come on here? It's 5 my time. Okay.
I can send him a link.
Yeah, send him a link. Well, I've already... See, okay, he does want a link. Okay, so let me pitch him a link.
No, you'll probably get it faster.
Because I know he had something to talk about. But before he does, let's see. I got this little video file saved from the thing itself. So here we go. Hopefully we don't get copyright claimed by this music. It doesn't sound that great, so I wouldn't imagine.
Robots ahead to Gliese 667C to terraform it and prepare it for colonization. Robots toiled for ages to establish a new foothold for humanity in distant space.
That artwork looks good, though. I mean, not the background, but the
Then the connection went
actual
dead.
robot line art.
Where is humanity? Have they abandoned you?
I like her lips. Okay, well, that's all we really got. I mean, nothing really beyond what we've already shown you. And we got an OGGM.
No.
You're
Thank you very much.
you're kind of in the background there a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There you go. Got to eat your microphone a little bit more.
Hold on.
Eat your vitamins and your microphones.
Yep. Well, I mean, I eat mine. That's why my voice comes in so nice and loud, because I'm like literally like less than 2 or 3 inches from it. I am professional-ish. But there you go. We can maybe take a look at the quick start while we're letting him get his stuff.
I guess the question is, would you put your brain inside a robot body?
Of course I would. I'd be the first one to volunteer. Are you kidding me?
But that's not the first thing you'd put in the robot.
That's also
Ew.
true. That's also true. I would. I'd definitely put they'd have to get the purple guy, because I'd be putting babies in some of those female robots. That's for sure.
Oh, can my robot be a beautiful woman?
Yeah, exactly. Well, can my robot be a beautiful woman?
Can you hear me now? Is it working?
Yes.
Yes, a little bit better. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for asking me.
No problem. No problem. I know it was kind of last minute for you, but I knew you were wanting to come on. I knew you were wanting to talk about your stuff.
Yeah, I hardly ever get a chance to shill my stuff, but I'm really proud of this one.
Okay. Well, we'll get it. We'll take a look at it here in a sec. We're going through this Kickstarter quick start just to see what it's like.
Ooh.
I mean, I really like the layout a lot, just because it looks like it's on point. It looks clean. I kind of wish there was a little bit more art.
Well, you got to save all the good art for the final product.
Well, yeah, but this is the quick start. This is the thing that you want to put out to pull people in to look at it and want to play it and back it. So if your quick start doesn't have a whole bunch of really cool art that just like sucks you in and makes you want to play, then it's kind of like, well,
yeah, I can see.
Then you're probably what's his name, the super grifter, Matt Colville.
A lot more. Oh, him.
Yeah, the guy who doesn't even have a game, who got everybody to back it.
Oh.
This is a 52-page quick start. Jesus. Okay. So, like,
I dare say it's almost up there with Kevin Crawford.
Actually, I have not downloaded his latest installment, but yeah, it's way up there. I think he's almost done. I mean, he just has a little bit more to go. I'm sure he'll finish it within a couple of months at worst. But this looks pretty good. I mean, I guess I really have to read it, sit down, and give it some proper goings over. But I'm glad I backed it. And Parrothead sent me something. What'd you send me? Please do not bang the machines. Robosexuality is an abomination.
Denied.
Don't date robots.
Don't date robots. Well, you know, if they didn't make them so gosh darn, you know, amiable and you know, willing and stuff, you know, I probably wouldn't even consider it, you know.
There's like an entire genre of sci-fi that basically boils down to don't stick your dick in it.
Yeah, but there's like a whole other genre of sci-fi that is all about, let's see how fast we can stick our dick in it.
Don't you stick it in your bot. Don't you stick it in your bot.
All right. Well, let's not derail you, OG. Okay, so what have you got for us?
No. As you guys know, I had just released the new version of what was once upon a time Wretched Vigilantes under the new name of Vigilantes for Shadow Dark. So I'm here to talk about it and you know, try and get some interest on a brand new product for the new year.
All right. Well, what do you have to tell us about it? I want to see if I can. I know I downloaded it from you. I've got to find it now.
Oh, okay. So I was in the process of rewriting it anyways when Red Room and I parted ways. So I've completely rewritten the thing from the ground up. Pitched my ride to Shadow Dark because it was a really easy system to hack for superheroes. It worked a lot easier than Wretched did, actually. So from the ground up, started redoing everything, powers, NPCs, the whole world building. That's what I really wanted to get into, was the mechanics behind how superpowers work. And the background was really something that I was really wanted to explore. And
this is a 208-page book.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it's reprints. I mean, a lot of it's just taking the stuff that I'd already done last year for Miguel and Sylvia and just scrubbing all their stuff and reprinting it. And the rest was just expanding on the story I'd already written. And then, you know, really getting into how do you jumpstart superpowers if you're a mad scientist? Because that's, you know, kind of the whole story. So if you're not familiar with the backstory, which originally was, and then what I changed was there is this fictional city that is having a lot of trouble in crime in the 80s. And there's this billionaire who decides that he's going to help the city with his crime. But rather than, investing in the infrastructure or putting his money into law enforcement, he decides he's going to create superheroes through science. So that was
As you do.
Yeah. So basically, reached out to a bunch of people who look like they might want to be superheroes. Blatantly stole this one from the comics. Putting up ads in martial arts studios, comic book shops, taking 100,000 people from the population with the promise that they can turn them to superheroes, and then performing outrageously inappropriate experiments on them. Shades of Science City Zero from Planetary, in the hopes that you would somehow ignite superpowers in them. So that was directly stolen from Science City Zero and the Elementals by Bill Willingham. So
nice. I gotta say, I have one friend who is a big superhero game nerd. I mean, he's been playing everything that's come down the pike except for the latest stuff from Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So the hardest thing I ever had to try to sell him on was a superhero game that had levels, because he's not a believer in having levels or level-based superhero games, because he's kind of all about the mutants and masterminds, GURPS, point-by building systems.
Super is a system I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
There's levels in Mutants and Mastermind. You basically just get more points, and then so.
Well, I'm a firm believer, especially with like comics. How many times have you heard a character in comics say, "I wouldn't have won this fight if it wasn't for my years of experience."
Mm-hmm.
That's why levels to reflect that. And Shadow Dark's level based. If I rewrite it again, it might be different. But I wanted to hang at least the initial coattails on Kelsey's success, because it's got the name recognition, and I'd already talked with her legal department about using her stuff, so it was already set in stone. So, but
okay,
I might revisit it again with another system. I'm always trying to hack systems, so
yeah. And honestly, I think it's cool that you did it with Shadow Dark, because that system, it's like I said on Saturday, that thing was like lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
It hit at just the right time, and it hit the market just perfectly, because people were pissed off and disgruntled with WotC dicking around with the OGL. And
she timed it perfectly.
She did. I mean, and it sold big. And in fact, one of my most viewed videos is a Shadow Dark companion that I did an unboxing on. And I've got some more Shadow Dark stuff to unbox here and show off at some point. But henshin device. There you go,
I haven't
Ironcaster.
really messed with. I barely even heard of Shadow Dark till like right now. So,
as a system goes, it has some pretty decent ideas, and it's pretty simple and easy to play. So the point of entry is not too hard for people to pick up.
Yeah, it's just D20 is D20.
Yeah.
Yes, then I will make my superhero Face Puncher, who punches people in the face, and his catchphrase is, "I'm gonna punch you in the face."
Well, you should punch them in the knees, because no one would expect that with a name like Face Puncher.
No. I would recreate Steven Seagal's famous cock puncher.
Wasn't that Mark Hamill?
But then I would be Face Puncher.
Oh, the cock puncher. This is from the Onion movie.
Me too.
Or what was the one? Table Smasher? His family had been killed by a table.
Oh.
Dedicated his entire life to getting vengeance on tables. I think that was a Saturday Night Live one.
That he could never enjoy Mutants Masterminds.
Golly, this thing is so detailed, man. I'm just like,
thank you very much.
Okay, so my next question is hardback when?
It's POD on Lulu. other than that, I don't know if I decide to Kickstart it. I guess that would be when I do a hardback. Let's see how well this does. Paperback.
Okay.
You know,
Any idea how much it is on Lulu?
I think I have it for 10 or on Lulu.
What?
12 to start, and the PDF I think is 15. Probably should switch that around, but
wait a minute. It's a 208-page book, and it's only $10.
Well, you know, I don't know if there's an audience, so I start low, and then we'll see.
Okay, everybody out there in the audience, you better go buy the shit out of this thing, because even if you don't want it, for $10, that can only show him that he's successful.
Maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot there, but you know,
buy now while the price is low.
Yep. I mean, you know, it's Shadow Dark. I think you're probably going to be shooting yourself in the foot. But I mean, I don't know. You could end up selling like tons and tons of copies of it to where it won't matter.
I figured that's a good price. More people are interested in, you know, checking out the PDF, especially with the whole AI art thing. You know, maybe if I got original art, I'd feel more comfortable.
We can talk.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I might not sell any at all. I don't know. I mean,
I work cheap, dude.
So. For when I was, you know, working with Miguel and Sylvia, I was like maybe $30 a month. So, but then I don't feel like they really pushed it. So that's really my thing here, is to push the initial to see if there's enough interest to do, you know, a Kickstarter a year from now.
Well, I mean,
because I never really felt like I got the FaceTime from them.
With those two, you know, I don't want to say a lot of nasty stuff about them, but with those two, it's like, yeah, they're wretched stuff. It's got its own audience.
Definitely.
So they've got people who are already lined up to buy their stuff no matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They're just mostly counting on trying to make that audience grow or just keep the people that they have. But in the case of Shadow Dark, because she opened up the license so much to a lot of other people, there's all kinds of people making stuff for it, and everybody wants it.
Yeah, I was talking to her guy because I had to change some names.
Ludicrous speed
to not violate her copyright stuff. So I wanted to make sure everything was okay with her, you know.
Ludicrous flight.
I don't know, you know.
That's kind of interesting to do for a system that you're building something towards for.
Well, let's face it, I've got a very quirky sense of humor, and it is comic books. And if you don't embrace that, you know, you're sort of losing out on.
No, I absolutely love this thing. Are you kidding me?
The tongue in cheek that I put throughout there.
Ironcaster, I may just have found my new game I want to run.
And it's got all the characters from the old ones. So if you're familiar with the all the characters, because apparently a lot of people like the characters.
Tell me we have a few more more tokusatsu nuggets mixed in the mix.
Not really. You know, I didn't think about that one. I actually didn't hide a lot of tokusatsu in here. Do have a, you know, a character with a giant hammer. I guess it's sort of
psychic powers in the Food and Drug Administration.
I love research. I love that's my favorite part. Whenever I'm writing something, is going down the rabbit hole, you know, and doing the research of each organization. And you know, for something that was related to experiments on people, of course, I had to go through the whole MK Ultra. You know, Project Stargate, Men of Stars Ghost, Edgewood, and that's just such a weird rabbit hole where you're like, look, no matter what I can make up in a comic book, the real world stuff is way weirder. MK Ultra happened.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't make it. No, it's not. You know, that happened.
If you want a really crazy one, look up the First Earth Battalion.
The First Earth, or the what was it? The Taipei vampires. Where the CIA tried to convince people they were vampires to get them out of a village.
Yeah. No, the First Earth Battalion, the one the guys with it was the attempt to actually make psychic soldiers. It's the movie Men Who Stare at Goats. It's about those people.
Yeah, that guy still says he has psychic powers.
Yep.
What was it the John Ronson book though? I do recommend reading just because the movie super Hollywoodized it. The
Yeah.
actual guys in it are like Vietnam vets and all this other crazy shit.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. They were trying to make distance
guys, Elvis Presley is a character in this.
feeling. Yeah, they're very much.
Now
so.
I want to play this. Now
I even have some new songs that he wrote.
Well, thank you very much. Elvis is everywhere. Elvis is
everywhere.
everything. Elvis is in everybody. Elvis is still the king.
Yes, he is.
If you had him doing magic, you could call him Spelvis.
He's just an immortal.
Still. Oh, look, it didn't work.
Do you have Elvis write songs about what everyone's about to do? It's like,
He
I gotta
did.
beat this villain.
Yeah, he has. I have, I think, 4 new songs that I wrote for him in there.
Yeah, right here. It's Crime Lords.
Tower.
Crime Lords by Elvis Presley. Oh, well, bless my soul. But what's wrong with me? I'm itching like a man on a fuzzy tree. My friends say I'm acting wild as a bug. Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're hired. You're hired for the voice acting.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, I'm telling you, I worked up a little appetite singing that, so you're going to need me a little fried peanut butter and nanner sandwich, okay? Yeah.
Is Colonel Parker a supervillain?
No.
Oh my God, no.
Maybe no. Oh, look, there's Grim.
Dr. Coctopus.
Impossible. Impossible. There's no naked women around him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's got those 4 tentacles that those pull in women.
I didn't want any naked ones in this one. I was really upset when Miguel put the nude chick in the last one. I was like, this is a comic book, dude. I don't want that in my book. But so.
Yeah. Well, you know how well he listens to people.
Yeah. So no, I'm trying to craft, still capture the whole gritty Iron Age 90s comic book vibe, but without.
I love the hell out of this, man. This is the most fun superhero game I've seen, and whoa, nice.
Thank you.
She's got a generous helping of abdominals there. Nice.
That's one of our villains for anybody who recognizes him.
Oh.
What? She's in the naval.
This guy looks kind of sort of familiar.
Yeah.
Silent, it's Snake Eyes, bro.
yes, Silent.
It's so Snake Eyes.
So these are all the villains. So again, with the story of the world is, they kept trying these generations of chemically based superheroes, and they all failed. Most of them went insane. And then the last group of chemically created superheroes that became supervillains and took over the town. So now the city is run by these corrupt supervillains that used to be heroes. So the only people that are left to stop them are the previous generation of genetically created heroes. So you have a chance to play them or make your own characters. And these are all the characters that were the old heroes that had to come out of retirement.
I'd if I were going to run this, I'd totally redo it, and I'd run it like you remember the old Heroes TV show?
Yes.
Yep. Man, that was.
Well, that's only one city. I wanted to. I mean, there's more of the world in the next book that's coming out. There's our mascot.
The 2000s one.
Yeah, the 2000s one.
That's our mascot and our storyteller. She even has a short story in here.
Nice. Well, dude, I'm stoked. You sent this to me for free, so yes. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to get up. I'm going to get up on.
I got to get people to review it to get more subs and get people to buy it. And
on Lulu, yes. Let me jump up on Lulu right now and find this.
I don't even know if it's on Lulu.
Oh, you don't?
I might have had to take it off and put it back on.
I was not able to find it.
It's on drive-thru.
It's on drive-thru, but is it got POD on drive-thru?
No, I don't know how to do that. But I'll get on that and let you know when it's ready to go. I'll have
okay, because Yeah, I mean, I got to have a hard copy of this, man.
Ah, well, man, thank you. That's more than I could ever ask one, is for somebody to want a hard copy.
And look, Savo, our fellow artist, says it really looks wonderful. So
Oh, thank you, Savo. That means so much to me, guys. Ah, wow. Never going to lose my, humbleness, I hope.
And look right here, Ultra American. He likes it too.
Oh, I know him. I couldn't call it Shadow Dark Vigilantes. I had to call it Vigilantes for Shadow Dark. That was one of the things, because of the way Kelsey wrote the open source.
Okay.
It can't be something. It can't be Shadow Dark something. It has to be something for Shadow Dark.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
But that hardly required anything. That was like cut and paste.
Yeah.
2 minutes to change the various mentions in the book.
Well, now I'm glad I brought you on to talk about this because that's kind of like the highlight of my week so far.
Well,
I love that.
I learned, I after dealing with no hard feelings, but I don't feel they ever really pushed it enough. And, I usually am very uncomfortable being on the mic, talking about my stuff, but I figure I got to do it, get over that whole imposter syndrome anxiety, because it's the only way it's going to sell is if I push myself.
Well, I mean, that's just the thing, though. No one's gonna fight for your stuff to succeed as well as you will.
Yeah,
you have to be your biggest spokesperson.
But you figure, like, you're my publisher, you're supposed to do that.
That's not how any of that shit goes.
I got Grim. Grim's my publisher now, so
okay.
He's awesome, but he's busy doing things with tentacles.
He does what he can.
Yeah.
Actually, he's doing things with swords right now because he just did all that samurai stuff, and I contributed an autistic chunk of detail to it.
Dude, you're speaking to the choir when it comes to the detail stuff. I called the Alamo when I was writing about the section on the Alamo.
Oh yeah.
Just because I love the research. That's my favorite part.
Vigilantes for Shadow Dark does sound like a better title. It really does.
I'm in the process of rewriting Henchmen Sing the Blues, but yeah, of all the titles that came up, that was my favorite title of the books.
What would you say it's most in tone with for the whole thing? Is it more like Venture Brothers, Invincible?
It's heavily influenced by Watchmen, Frank Miller, stuff. Frank Miller's run on Daredevil, of course. All that 80s, 90s Iron stuff, the Iron heroes, the street level heroes, none of these guys are cosmically powered. Even the most powerful character in the whole book's power is just precognition. And their power comes from just, I know what's going to happen, so I just manipulate events to,
So
our mascot's basically got the hammer space. That's her power. So I do have a little anime in there. None of the characters are big. It's all 90s street level. So you can come in with any type of characters and play them. And then I'll expand upon that depending, with the second book and stuff like that.
Did you ever see the movie Push? Because from what you're describing,
yes, dude,
it seems kind of similar to that.
Do not get me on the rabbit hole of connecting Push with Limitless with Lucy, because I have a whole thing I wrote of how those three movies are actually in the same universe.
I've only seen Lucy. So.
I didn't like Lucy because it's a case where person is already ridiculously powerful at the beginning of the movie, and they just keep getting more and more powerful.
Yeah. It's a fun film. It's not great, but in my weird rabbit hole, I connected it with Limitless, and then I connected it with Push, and then I connected it with Jumper, and then I connected it to the shop from Firestarter.
Now, can you connect it to what is it? Split, Glass, and Unbreakable?
I only remember Unbreakable. I never saw Split and Glass, but I probably could once I watched them. I mean, if they all got their powers from like chemicals. I connected it to what was that? Heroes.
Ah, nice. Well, I mean, honestly, Unbreakable is the only one worth watching. Split was okay. Glass was, I mean, that movie sucked so bad. That was that killed the whole thing.
Literally.
Yes.
So
Well,
does that
um,
mean we can connect it to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with chemicals?
I could definitely connect it to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I guess the only other thing is, what about like pulp style heroes? What, like, if anything, do you have for that? Those types of
I mean,
characters.
the whole thing is pulp style heroes. That whole Frank Miller '90s Watchmen, street level.
Mhm.
If you want to go back to the actual pulps, like the 1940s, I haven't done that one yet. I have some mentions of the past, but I haven't really gone into like a 1940 style. I don't know if there's much of an audience. Superheroes alone is a niche, and then when you try and do niche within niche within niche, it's like,
Oh no, I'm more so talking about you can make the type of characters that are in the pulps as well.
yeah.
was
I
thinking
mean, I
like
have
the
all the
Shadow.
basic. I have the basic powers and random tables, but I also have a huge section on cybernetics and drugs like that, and then I'm expanding on that for the next book.
You can make a Dark Man.
Yeah, so you can make a Dark Man.
You could almost run a game of Cyberpunk with it, with as much cybernetics as he's got.
Yeah, the cybernetics, another loop rabbit hole. I love the research. What can I say? It's my weakness.
No, I mean, do it. I mean, that's kind of what happened to me whenever I started writing the book for Grimm, the companion to Machinations of the Space Princess, which he called Sex Robots, and I was like, no, please don't call it that. But he did.
It's Grimm. Of course he's
Grimm.
going to call it that.
I know, but damn it, I think that is responsible for tanking more of our sales than anything else, because people see that title and they're like, nah, I don't want to buy that.
There's always that. I always have the shadow of Grimm's reputation.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like they did with Miguel and Sylvia.
Here's the thing, though. I hear that title and just think of the Whitest Kids You Know sketch. What do you want? Sex.
Sex robot.
what-
Sex robot.
What? Well, that's not gonna happen, mister.
Try again.
You're gonna have to stop me.
I love when they hang him at the end, which makes no sense because he's a robot, and he's just like, they look to the other guy and just goes, "So what did we learn from this?" And the sketch just ends.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, the cover of Sex Robots definitely has a Barbarella feel to it.
Yeah, but I mean, if you've actually ever read the inside of it, I worked the hell out of that thing, because if you look at Grimm's original versus all the stuff that I added to it, I got like autistic detail and a lot of that stuff. I mean, because that's my niche, man. It really is, and Westworld really fueled a lot lot of it for me.
Oh God, where were
Oh, don't get me started on that fucking series.
Oh no,
They messed up
not the series, the original 1973 film.
Oh, the
Bro.
film.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
Most of the time you say it.
The
That's my
series
opener.
just ended. Like it needed one more season.
I don't necessarily know that it would have gotten better even with that last season, but I still wanted to see it.
I wanted to know what her last thing was, her last game.
Yeah.
It's just the entire thing was basically it's an exercise in nihilism.
Probably.
Especially the statement consciousness doesn't exist.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so everything else exists for no reason other than to distract us from the meaninglessness of life and
I mean, that was kind of what
death.
that's kind of what they established in the show, was the fact that they had cheated death, and people were just kind of living forever and doing this, that, and the other, and successful and happy and all this other garbage, and then Westworld was just their final way to go and get their rocks off by doing stuff that they would never do to people in real life, and then somehow saying this is how people really are, and I'm just kind of like,
kind of like the Stacks and that other.
No, I was pissed with the Cambrian mine. That stuff was already debunked by the time it came out, so they were like literally like listing things so that to make their thesis that were already false.
Well, okay,
Sorry,
dude, this is the thing, okay? When you play a video game, sometimes after you've played it once or twice, you want to go back and you want to just make all the shitty decisions to see how that turns out. And that may include shooting people in the face or doing things that you might not want to do normally. And it doesn't mean that you're a horrible person. It just kind of means you're a person who is enjoying things so much you want to see how it might have turned out this other way. Because in reality, we don't get a chance to redo stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I was just thinking through my head. It just reminded
in real life,
me.
If I push you into a wall, you'll glitch through the wall. But in the video game,
Nope, too bad. We've been told enough times that just any act of violence is real violence.
okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're saying I can glitch you through the wall if I try really hard?
So
I don't know.
So
I mean,
why did you program them to feel pain?
they're simulating.
I mean,
it
they're
anyway.
I mean, they're gonna get killed a bunch. They're just gonna get really pissed off and oh no.
Yeah, well, that was sort of what happens, and every time when they we have the AI take over scenarios because the AI, got to be.
Yeah, it's kind of my problem with it is that ultimately they end up just becoming, in essence, human stories instead of exploring like what would an actually intelligent machine be like. It's not going to be like us.
No, of course not.
Yeah, and I think the first big mistake they made on that in the show, and it's something that me and my friend were just absolutely beside ourselves with, was the fact that they decided to go with that 3D printed crap. Because I was kind of like, you made them so much like people, they're pretty much just people. So what's the point? If you'd have made them, if you'd have left them all metal and rubber and stuff like that, that would have presented some really interesting challenges out in the real world. Or at least, when they're coming to grips with their consciousness and all these other things. But
well, eventually they'll break down.
There's also implications from it that they didn't really go into, but are really disturbing when you really think about it. Like, okay, fine. So basically, murderers, rapists, psychopaths go to the park, and they have kid automatons. Yeah, I'm not touching that shit.
Nah.
Goodbye.
Well, I mean, people were bringing their children to the park, but I mean,
come on, Billy, come on, Ginny, let's go kill ourselves a robot.
Yeah, I mean,
with a horror
real gun until I'm 12.
It's like, here, Billy, Daddy's gonna go to horror for a while. It's like,
I'm gonna go visit Penny. What's her name? Feather at the saloon. Why don't you and Mommy go get you something to eat and go play with the horses or something?
I'm just going. It's like, what the hell's this park's business plan?
I don't know. I mean, they didn't even show you all of the worlds, which was also kind of an odd thing, because I'm kind of like, okay, I get that they were focusing on Westworld in the first season, but then they started to show you other stuff like Shogun World, and
they hinted at it. Yeah.
This is why I prefer the Crichton movie. It's
in World War II.
It's so much better thought out. It's like, here's the
Yes.
3 lands. There's 3 different types of fantasies with it. Roman land is like if you basically want to be a deviant SOB.
yeah,
If you want to play more heroic style, like chivalrous knight, you go to medieval land. And then Westworld, it's like, you're playing cowboys and Indians, basically.
pretty
There
much.
you go.
But the Shogun thing is always a big issue because, those are the worlds you really want to go see in the side. And it's always like, we tease it like, and maybe if we get to another season, you just might see it, but you don't want to see it.
Well, it's with anything like that, it's, do we have the budget to show you that?
It's the
'cause
J.J.
they always-
Abrams mystery box.
Yeah. Yeah, they always like to tease you on all the possibilities that we could get, but you're not going to get now.
No.
It's
Mm-mm.
it's sequel bait.
Sequel. Wait for the books. Wait for the video.
Yeah. Now, I wouldn't mind seeing them do a Westworld remake, but do it the right way this time instead of just this nihilistic BS. And
Here's an idea. Maybe a series called Westworld should probably majorly take place in Westworld. I know it's a crazy notion, but maybe after the first season, you should stay in Westworld.
Why do you keep throwing stuff up here? Are you just wanting me to put it? Are you wanting to talk about this shit so bad?
Season 2.
Yes. Well,
We knew there's a season 2.
I have like 30 tabs of like notes and stories I was going to bring up possibly. And I'm like,
sorry.
hey, if if I can work a segue in and we can find a natural progressing point, we'll jump it over eventually. But speaking of sequels,
I'm just here to sell shares.
Okay, I'll give you your segue. They should have just done Westworld in one piece.
Segue.
Ooh.
Westworld. Oh, okay.
So real quick, out just to hit on this, season 2, the production of season 2 is just wrapped up. So hopefully this summer we'll be seeing the Straw Hats return.
Cool. Well, I mean, I like the first one. I'll watch the second one. I'm sure it's going to be a huge hit.
It's Netflix, though. It's like, don't make me fall in love with Netflix because we know you're going to cancel it.
Well, tis what it is. I'm actually kind of excited because coming up quite soon, within this month, I believe, is Cobra Kai, the final season on Netflix.
The ad for that.
Are they doing one of those things where the final season's getting split into 5 seasons?
The final part of the final season's coming out.
Is there a movie coming out too?
Yeah, they do have a movie. They have a Karate Kid movie coming out.
But that is, I believe, a separate thing altogether.
Yes and no. They are kind of combining the Pat Morita and Jackie Chan movies together to make one like linking film that kind of brings it all together and makes it all coherent and whatever. But anyway, really quickly, let me go ahead and show this because I'm excited about it. I don't know about you, but
in the beginning,
what I think is cool about this is the fact that this was a YouTube show originally, and it got 2 seasons in YouTube. And Netflix picked it up, and they just spun it into gold. Because here we are in season 5, and they've managed to split this up into 3 parts for season 5. So,
but that's only made us stronger.
No, it's season 6.
Oh, is it 6? Yeah, 6. Yeah, season 6. My apologies. I always forget.
Same side.
And no matter the alliances we've made,
And it was nice to see all the old guys come back.
Or the friends who
And
have
her.
our backs.
Elizabeth Shue is hot, no matter how old she is. Okay.
our enemies are still out there. What would life be?
The important thing is, this is the exception, not the rule with continuations.
Very much so. So unlike Westworld, this actually works.
Accomplish that as one.
Yep.
We need to go back to where it all began.
That's cool.
I know things got out of control in Barcelona.
Well, yeah, somebody died in Barcelona.
Is the tournament back on? What am I
Oh, is that a spoiler? You should have gone back and watched it.
I wish I had the answers for you.
I should have really started watching this show at some point.
Yeah, you should have.
They don't. Make them.
You can beat Axel. I gave it everything I had last time. Didn't make a difference.
Nobody deserves to get their ass kicked more than that bitch.
We just killed a bunch of people. I don't know, call the police. No. We'll handle it.
Only one person died in the entire series, and that was because they fell on a knife that they pulled.
It's sanctioned.
So there we are, February 13th. So that's next Thursday.
Well, I love them for trusting the series to run its course. Normally they don't.
I know. I'm glad they did. And there are some series that they've been letting go to their natural conclusion, like Kengan Ashura. I was very happy that they gave it all 3 seasons and took it to its conclusion. I do hope we're going to get a Kengan Omega, but I don't know if we are. I'm also kind of really chomping the bit to see when they bring out Delicious in Dungeon Season 2.
Oh, God, yes.
Oh, you like it also?
Yeah. It's the
Hell
best
yeah.
D&D show on.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought, man, this is the best D&D show.
Don't watch it hungry. Just don't watch it hungry.
No kidding. And like I've said it more than once, it gave me a lot of ideas on things to do in dungeons. Like, like, ooh, Well, let's try cooking a monster.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sweep the leg.
Yeah.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg, then eat the leg. Right.
Do you have
Sweep
a
it.
problem with that?
Shinatsky's still trapped in that first movie. Oh, let me see. What else did we get?
There is a new season of Blue Eyed Samurai.
Oh, I need to watch that. Which is oddly that's a woke show that actually works.
No, because it's a girl pretending to be a guy. Is that what it's for?
I guess. We did hear a rumor that Amazon Prime was going to cancel Rings of Power Season 3, but I don't believe that necessarily. I think that's just a rumor.
That's more so
Delayed,
playing on all the play. That's sort of a meme based on all the kind of headline news going on in the world of geopolitics.
See, and that's kind of what I thought too. I'm like, yeah, I think that's too much of a wish fulfillment fantasy for it to actually happen. But
I think it got pushed back, but I don't know if they'll cancel it. They've got too much money invested in it.
Well,
but
speaking of wish fulfillment,
well, I got some wish fulfillment for you right here because in 2025 we're gonna get Vampire-chan Can't Suck Properly. The TV anime adaptation has been announced from Studio Feel.
Was that a game or a manga? I'm trying to remember.
I am not sure. I just know that, when you got a lead character that looks, kind of like this. For some reason, StreamYard going very slow.
Hey, Snacks.
Hey, Snacks. Yeah, that's there you go. That's the lead character for Vampire-chan Can't Suck Properly.
I'm sure there's not an innuendo in that.
None whatsoever. I'm sure everybody's gonna watch this completely wholesome, 100%, family-oriented vampire show with the spirit with which it was intended.
There was kind of a parody I wanted to do, probably just be a couple images or whatnot. But a parody idea I had was called Hannibal Chan and the Magic Murder Suit. So it's just Hannibal is like a cute anime girl, and she turns people into candy and then eats it.
I mean, I could see that. It would be a D&D character almost. I mean, seriously. I mean, can you imagine? I mean,
Yeah, and she'd have her older brother she has a crush on, Wheel-kun.
Okay, well, I gotta go to Caster for this one because he actually presented this to me and I was like kind of floored myself.
Take it away, Iron.
But yeah, this is apparently the series sales for Capcom.
Yeah, so Capcom just recently put out a bunch of financial information about how they're doing as a company. And in it, we got some numbers buried down in this 52-page document of their integrated report for 2024, which is kind of a work of art in and of itself. But that's the super dry stuff that guys like Valiant Renegade would be all into. But for those of us who are more into the gaming, we did get some numbers here about the number about how well a lot of these licenses and properties of theirs have been selling. In this case, in the millions.
Yeah. These are units in the millions. So 1942 did 1.4 million. 54.0 Street Fighter is lower than I expected.
Yeah. I thought given Street Fighter how big it was and for how long and how many re-releases they did, that would be their biggest seller.
I really did too, but Resident Evil just blew it out of the water at 150. In fact, it's the biggest.
How many of those are just Resident Evil 4?
It doesn't matter. Resident Evil 4 is just that good.
Well, you're also missing the little dinosaur of a franchise here that is quickly taking the lunch of a lot of all these other things combined.
You talking about Monster Hunter?
Yep.
Yeah, that's surprising how fast that one is growing up. But I mean, they're releasing so many Monster Hunter and spin-off titles that they're all selling.
Yeah, And that's the one that really surprises me because that's a series that started in like what 2002 roughly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the thing is was heavily DS focused and it was super Japan centric. They took away a lot of the more annoying elements when they made World, and they managed to actually push it to like the Western market very well.
I love this. Thank you, Savo Genghis Khan and the Strawberry Genocide. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Just we should totally do that. Just have cute, like genocidal dictators for his cute little anime girls.
Mhm.
So
Now-
the one on here that really caught my attention, I'm glad you pointed out there.
Mega
is
Man.
Mega Man. Yep.
Yeah.
This is the franchise that kind of brought this chart to my attention because, well, we got a little more details and data around Mega Man, which is now on its 35th anniversary. And the most recent game, Mega Man 11, has been out for about 7 years now and has only just now reaching 2 million copies sold.
Damn.
Now when they do Commando, I assume they're also talking about Bionic Commando, which surprised me because I thought that one was a really good game and I thought they would probably build on that franchise more, but they never did.
We also have to choose was it Rearmed, whatever.
Well, they had Rearmed, and then they had the other one where it was like all 3D and all that, and the guy was all edgy with his dreadlocks.
So, kind of some information that kind of came out of this that was really, and I talked a little bit about this yesterday, but what we saw was effectively Mega Man as a franchise. It has kind of a smaller fan base, but that fan base is passionate and it'll take time for these games to sell. Now, some of the other spin-off titles, such as my personal favorite, Mega Man Battle Network, had recently put out a bundled pack, and within about a week and a half, sold like 1.5 million copies. So there is an audience still there for these games, but maybe not for the mainline games. And who knows? Maybe they can turn around and get some of these other side games out to try to shake things up.
Well, there is a brand new Onimusha that is coming out pretty soon. As far as this, putting Marvel versus Capcom in its own separate area, I disagree with that. I honestly think Marvel versus Capcom belongs with Street Fighter as far as its unit sales, because they are so closely linked and so intertwined. I mean, you got Ryu and Ken and these, so it's like,
well, the thing is though, you're not seeing Darkstalkers, because Darkstalkers is another series that does not, historically speaking, sell well.
No, it kind of bombed after was it Vampire 3?
Right.
So,
and a lot of this is also kind of coming up in my attention and my little place where I check things out, because we got some news of some games kind of getting some re-releases out here, such as Dino Crisis reaching GOG.
And that's on GOG, on the GOG preservation program. That is awesome.
Wow. Notice they didn't try to preserve 3.
I don't think anybody liked 3.
No, exactly. That's still a series where it's like I'm still waiting for the follow-up to 2. I know it's probably never happening, but hey, make a time machine, come get me.
I'll be honest, I never did play Dino Crisis back on the old PlayStation. I mean, I know everybody was like, oh, it's like Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs. And I'm like, I don't care about dinosaurs. I want to play with zombies. So I never played it, but everybody liked it.
The thing is, for $17, it's at the right price for you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
2's more of an action game. 2 is I had a lot of fun with, especially because is this thing where it has a combo system. So you get more bounty points, which is basically what allows you to buy more ammo and upgrades. So you're just literally trying to run through rooms, killing dinosaurs as fast as possible.
Or am I imagining that?
What's that?
So
was there a weird top-down version of Dino Crisis?
There was a light gun game like Dino Stalker, I think it was called.
Yeah,
is that what
there was one on
of?
PS2.
Or am I thinking of a different game?
Probably a different game then.
Because I remember a top-down one Maybe he's right. Maybe I'm thinking of Dino Stalkers.
Oh, and another cool thing Dino Crisis 2 had was that after you beat the game, you got points, and there was a Dino battle mode, so you could just have play as dinosaurs or the other characters beating down other dinosaurs. It's awesome.
Did it give you what do you call it? New Game Plus, where you could carry all your shit into the next game?
I think so. It had a lot of stuff, and I'm trying to remember if it had a New Game Plus 4, but it's still, there was a lot.
Yeah, I would like to see them redo Resident Evil Code Veronica X, because that was a decent game.
Yes.
Scroll that thing up, baby. Scroll that thing up.
Oh, so this is one of the other things I did want to touch on, and part of why I was kind of bringing up GOG.
Thanks for letting me hang out, by the way, guys, and just.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, of course.
Tuesdays are kind of our chill day, so
I'll try and be on more often.
Okay.
Is this what they're remaking for GOG?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
it's what they want.
Yeah.
Do they have the license, or are they trying to get them?
They'll get them if they get enough popularity.
A wish list people are putting out for games that you can submit games for people to vote on. This doesn't guarantee that these games are going to be picked.
But
these are games nobody else has brought back to life that they're trying to get to brought back to life.
It's more about the fact that GOG is big on the video game preservation, and so people are wanting to point out what games they want to see preserved as they were originally intended. Because, well, so many times we've seen we can't trust some of these companies with what they've had come out. And we've seen some of the stuff come out, Blade Runner, Alpha Protocol, Daggerfall.
Mm-hmm.
And within a week, we've gotten about almost 7 million votes for games people want to see get preserved and get that license figured out.
Oh, black and white.
So as you can see here, some of the top games that are currently most in demand, most requested.
Keep scrolling, bud.
I hate that the reason we don't have No One Lives Forever is because literally they can't fucking find the damn contracts. They're too lazy.
We are not going to get Diablo 2. We're not going to get Final Fantasy 7. That is bullshit. We will never get those.
But Grim Fandango could possibly get done.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, it actually is on here.
Oh.
Yeah, it is on here.
Didn't they have the anniversary version a couple years ago?
They're not going to redo Silent Hill 2. They already redid that. But they do need to redo Silent Hill 1.
Well, the thing is, this is also just the original release of it. Mm-hmm. Let us put it out here. Let us sell it.
System Shock 2, yeah, that got remade.
Yeah,
and well, you have the Resident Evil trilogy on GOG, so Veronica X could come.
Yeah.
Well, original Silent Hill 2, there's already fan patches and everything else to make the PC version of that basically actually work on modern systems and run well. So hopefully they could actually get that.
I'm surprised that Dune, the companies, whoever has the license to Dune right now, hasn't remade the shit out of that thing right now, because it, jumping on the hype from the movie. Well, no, it's technically it's a movie. But nobody played that. It's ass.
No, and the series on Amazon.
You mean on Max?
Is it on Max?
Yeah, it's on Mac. You talk about Dune Prophecy?
Dune Prophecies, yeah.
Yeah, it degenerates into the most worst dialogue you'll ever hear, because it's yeah, they just give you big exposition dumps. They tell you every single thing, and they have the most ridiculous girl boss bullshit. I mean, I understand it's supposed to be about the Bene Gesserit sisterhood, which they're not called the Bene Gesserit at this time, but the level of girl bossery and the fact that, one of the lead characters is made to look like such a weak, ineffective, pussy of a man. It's just, it's horrible.
I hate modern writers because they don't seem to understand. Yes, women run things from the shadow. You know how they do it? Subterfuge. They don't they don't show up men. because that's not going to fucking get them to do what you want.
But
the basic human characterization. I'm going to undermine you, and you're going to do what I want. No, you're going to tell me to go fuck myself.
There we go. Vigilantes for Shadow Dark. Paperback USD. $15.
There we go. I knew it was on there. I just had to fix it.
There we go. I am. Hang on a minute. There we go. Just so you guys can see it up there, and there's our copy for it. I'll post that up there. But yeah, $15 paperback USD. Paperback for a 200-page book? Jesus. Ah, man. I would pay $50 for the hardback at least.
Oh, then I better make a hardback.
Yes, you should. Yes, you
Yeah,
should.
I'll
sir.
give you a quote for the book. I'm going to punch you in the face.
I will
Man who
add that to
punches
one of the
him in the
books.
face.
I promise that I will get to punch you in the face somehow.
Thank you.
Just
And look, see, and there you say, yeah, even Ultra is like, yeah, he wants a hardcover too. See, there we
as soon
go.
as I figure out how to get it to be made, you guys got to remember, I'm like 20,000 years behind on computer shit. But I will, if I can convince Lulu how to make a hardback, there will be a hardback. It's also available on Amazon for the Kindle.
Well,
because apparently that's a thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. I've used them during game sessions to look up stuff, especially when my players were using all my books.
I never expect to sell anything. So if I sell even one, I'm happy. I'm just, want to make games that I want to play with my friends. Right.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Well, yeah, then we definitely should do a session, help promote you out in that.
Thank you. Yes. I'm planning on doing some live plays. Hopefully soon, maybe.
Well, I might actually run this bad boy myself.
It's one of those nebulous ideas. Oh, then I should show up to play.
You probably should. Uno momento here. Let me see.
All right. How do I convince Lulu to let me make this into a hardback as well?
If it was Graham, you just need to convince him to make it hard.
Yeah. How soon do you get paid whenever these things go through anyway?
I don't know. I mean, it's supposed to be automatic, so.
Is it?
Usually it's a couple days, I think, from
okay,
shipping.
Well, you just made your first sale to me for $22.41.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So, speaking of print, did you guys know that apparently you can order Modiphius books in like a retailer version from DTRPG?
For less than what Modiphius charges?
Yeah, that's the real.
Well, no, I'm saying it's like the full price, like $60 for the hardcover. But this, it was just, it threw me off. I'm like, this is something new. I had no idea you could do.
Like, who?
Yeah. Oh, I'll pull it up on screen and show you.
Oh, you already have it up?
Yeah. I'm just, look around DTRPG randomly and check this out.
Publisher fulfilled. Oh.
And that's the new one, too.
Yeah.
It's
not just a POD and hardback.
They must. I was going to say Modiphius must have their own publishing source.
Through drive-through?
No, I mean...
Or it's just linking you directly to Modiphius through drive-through, and drive-through's getting percentage for having the link.
Basically, I think that's what it is.
I'm gonna look into this, see what if they're still charging out the nose for shipping.
Yeah,
probably
the real question.
I mean, that's how they generally recoup costs, because the whole idea with printing, from what I remember, is that you want to be within a certain era, because the more you could print, the cheaper they are overall. But obviously, if you print way more than you sell, then you're screwed.
It's the shipping where you make your money.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, let me check here, make sure I'm not going to dox myself or anything, but I'm actually seeing some pretty reasonable shipping prices.
All right, gents.
You'd have to compare them to regular Modiphius. $450 for 4 weeks.
That's the standard.
Modiphius ground, that's standard.
Yeah, that's standard. That's I mean, I just paid that for the Lulu book that I just got. So
37 for 2 days working. That seems about normal.
Well, it just seems like in times where I've tried to order stuff, it was like the cost of the book over again just to get it shipped to me. Like I think when I bought Fabula Ultimate, it would cost just as much as the book.
Yeah, that was. But look where you live, Ironcaster. I mean, it's like, male people are afraid to go into your part of town.
Hey, don't worry. They have the nicest super soakers full of all that leaded water.
Well, all right, gents. It's been a great Tuesday. I'm really happy. I mean, OG, thanks for hanging out with us.
Anytime, man. Now that I know what time it is.
Yeah. We do have some other things that we needed to cover.
Oh, please do.
No. I would rather wait until Saturday when we got our full TTRPG crew on to talk about them, because some of the things are like, Corrine Bush getting hired on over at WotC.
I heard something about that. I think Diversity did that.
Yeah, he did. So I'm curious to see what the rest of the gang thinks about that, and
it's just
some other things.
A death knell of what used to be D&D.
I mean,
Man.
You can't nail your coffin shut any harder than that, in my opinion. But we'll see what everyone else has to say.
I wonder what would have happened if they had committed murder. You think they would have made them president of Wizards?
I mean, all I can think of is Wizards doesn't like making money or doesn't care about making money.
Now I just remembered. We shouldn't no longer call them Wizards of the Coast. We should call them Grand Wizards.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because orcs not allowed in the monster manual.
Yep.
They're not
Grand Wizards, up to no good.
That was their solution to stop you from killing orcs.
Chris Cox said D&D doesn't make them money anymore, so...
Would you call it their final solution?
Yes.
It's the final solution.
We are going to round up all of the orcs and put them in special camps.
We're not going to hurt them. They'll be happy fun camps with bouncy
We shall make them work. To death.
Yeah. No, I mean,
don't worry. We will be sending them to the camps.
They are happier here.
Taken care of.
It'll be interesting to see what they do next. the never-ending soap opera that is Wizards of the Coast.
It's great. We are anti-racism. In order to do that, we're going to annihilate an entire race from existence.
I mean, it's almost as stupid as Paizo deciding, oh, well, the goblins are so cute and everybody likes them, so let's make them playable character races. So all of a sudden, everybody just accepts these little guys because their homeland got blown up, when in fact they were terrorizing other people for years and years and centuries. But because they're cute, everybody's gonna suddenly like them and want to hug them and bring them into their homes and let them hang out with their pets that they eat and all these other things.
Yeah, well,
I mean.
They would probably be, if their homeland gets built, they'd probably just be rounded up to extinction. There'd be the Great Goblin Wars. It'd be like with the Tribbles and the Klingons. There was the Great Purge. We destroyed their homeland and then we took them out.
Exactly. I'm just thinking it's kind of like, you ever want to see a fantasy race get totally genocided out of existence? That would probably be the first one. Because, there were enemies of your characters in the very first module that Paizo ever published. So It's kind of like, the very first thing that first level PCs are going to run into is a group of goblins attacking a town, killing horses, eating dogs, and, setting fire to everything and, killing and stealing. And so, let's make these guys all friendly and part of the PC culture race.
Followed by tieflings. Tieflings would be the next thing to be annihilated because all the GMs are sick of dealing with them.
I don't even know how there are so many tieflings. I'm convinced that the Baldur's Gate thing with all of the tieflings had to be like some kind of an inside joke that Baldur's Gate 3 was making secretly, but nobody really understood it. But hey,
Wait,
whatever.
you're the result of a union between a demon and a human. Why are there so many of you around?
Exactly. It's like,
Oh.
whoops. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't understand the logic, but there is no logic behind these things. It's just stupid. But anyway, let's go home.
but my
Go home.
tiefling is super special, awesome.
I'm sure he is. Why don't you go park him over there next to the other 52 really special tieflings? Good night, everybody. Y'all have a wonderful
Thank
evening.
you for letting me come on and show my stuff. I appreciate it.
You're welcome anytime, my man.
All right.
And on Saturday, we will have DM Blackwall to talk about Advanced Horde Wars. So look forward to it.
About Horde Wars, but I don't know anything about it other than it's D12.
Well, then you better come on the show so you can ask him some questions, my man.
If I'm available, I will definitely try.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank you very much. We'll see ya.
Thank you, Ironcaster. Thank you, Shinosuke. Thank you.
We gotta talk about some Sentai soon.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. It's gonna be tough to top Boom Boom, but it looks good. It looks so good.
Here comes the